Welcome to Life in the Fast Lane with Matt Tifft and myself, Keith Migra. We took a break yesterday because it was hot. I wasn't feeling that well. There was a lot going on. But we're back, and it's a Thursday, and we are as busy as ever. This is nuts. You look,
Which kind
I hate you so,
of pistachio
so
nuts,
incredibly
almond
much.
nuts, macadamia nuts,
What's your favorite nut?
these nuts.
I knew that's where you were headed with it.
Glad you teed up the question for me. Thank you.
So how is everything in Matt's world? Because we do have we got like a lot of personal stuff that we're going to be working on that we're doing. Uh,
Oh, okay. I thought we were doing the therapy session. Okay,
well,
cool.
I mean, I need a good therapist. I need to talk to somebody.
Yeah,
I think we
yeah.
all do. There's nothing wrong with going to see a therapist. Mental health is real.
No, I love my therapy sessions. They are quite therapeutic.
Good word. Good
I
word
wish I
for
was
the
kidding, but
therapy.
no, it's for real.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. So you were busy down doing a double header. It was your birthday. I mean, you just this week was insane for everything going on.
It's crap down here in Charlotte. I heard it was hot up there. That's nice now, but I heard it was really bad in Ohio a couple
Oh,
days ago.
everything is everything. Yeah, it's horrible. It's like heat index reaches something fierce and everything else. We're we're doing a new podcast, I guess that's being produced by us. It's called Unmortal Live, and it's like behind the scenes with all of the people who are shooting the movie and
Which
the
I
short
believe I'm
film and
jumping on in a
everything.
couple weeks, if I'm not
You are.
mistaken.
Yes, yeah, you absolutely are. And so we were talking to John Wells and Al Snow and meeting them and all that's cool. It was great, but the Kickstarter got funded, so that was even more. I've never been a part of a successful Kickstarter
Really? I
before. Oh
didn't even
yeah,
know get
oh yeah, no yeah. It went like I mean it was crazy. I
well,
know
thanks. I didn't know it went. Jeez, that sucks.
but we got to do a
But
lot
I
of.
guess to be fair, I had my own GoFundMe Kickstarter thing for the charity thing last week, so I had my own Kickstarter thing going on. So I
Well,
I was lost in the Kickstarter world.
well, you're right, and the thing is I did it. I remember that, and I'm like, well, you know what? He's doing his own thing, and here's
It
something
actually
that,
got funded. So
huh?
it got funded all the way.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're good. They did it. In fact, they went like 600 over their goal, I think.
I'm going
Um,
to go look at the page right now while you're talking. Now keep on going. I'm going to look up the
no
real
worries.
Al Snow.
The real El Snow. No, it was super cool to kind of see how that came to fruition, how everything was there. And Wit's awesome at doing marketing and promoting, and the Unmortal page just hit like 10,000 likes, I think, or something like that. Some crazy number of people just jumped all over it. So that was pretty freaking neat. And then
Yeah.
outside of that, we got more news, and we're not going to talk about all of it right now, but we got a lot of cool stuff in the works
Yep.
that
For sure.
that I'm super excited about, especially here at Cam Voice. We got a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
But
I
but
couldn't find the Kickstarter link, but I will find it later. But anyways, yes. So all that is awesome. Yeah. Well, that's cool.
it is. It's
So
super awesome.
digging into some stuff that has been going on. We've done a lot of of different things lately. Talking
Yeah.
about racing stuff. Talking about our TV stuff.
Yeah.
One thing we like to talk about on the show is sports.
Yeah.
So Trevor Bauer, how did that
I
guy?
cannot. Yeah, okay, so listen, we've talked personally about this. I've talked on air about this. I do not like Trevor Bauer. I think he's a pompous ass. I think he's great for the game of baseball. I think his antics are amazing. I don't like him. But I will tell you this, until there's more information, I'm going to back Trevor Bauer because he did everything. What somebody does in their personal life is none of my business whatsoever. But to me, and I've read the article about 16 times, to me what it seems like is this girl, and I'm not gonna, again, I don't know. I don't know if all of this really happened or
Well,
not.
you fill me in because the last thing I saw, because
Yeah.
I have not gone into this very much. So
Sure.
being that it's LA, right?
Yeah.
So the LA Dodgers
Hmm.
and the only point I had on this was the Dodgers were still planning to start him on
Hmm.
Sunday, which means that the club feels like he is in the right as of right now.
Sure.
So
Which is how
until
they should.
until more info comes. So I actually don't know. I haven't had enough time to read the article. So fill me in. What's been the deal?
So basically, what happened was he, and I don't want to say solicited it, but he met this person off social media or some form of social media. I don't know how it was. I
Was
know
it
he didn't like pay for it. Is what I'm getting at. He didn't like
Facebook Marketplace with
he
the drone?
he found, yeah, that's right. This is why his finger was all messed up. No, he and again, I don't know all the details. I just know what the media said, but he did not solicit sex. He just basically, it was a hookup. That's pretty much what it was. And what I believe happened was is his statement to the press was it was a consensual adult situation where it was rough sex. So I'm assuming that he probably got a little too overboard or something, and she jumped on an opportunity. And I know this is people are gonna yell at me for this and my stance on this, but after everything that's been going on, and I'm not just talking about the other, I don't know how to say this without pissing somebody off. I don't take the side of the woman anymore until I know for a fact that this happened. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think we'll ever have the facts to know if I take Bauer's side or if I take the woman's side. And this is coming from someone who I strongly dislike Trevor Bauer. I hated him when he whined like a little girl. I hate the way he tries to call people out. Is it great for the game of baseball? Yes. Is he entertaining? Absolutely. Is he a villain? Sure. But I will tell you this, I don't care if you're my enemy or not. So that kind of accusation, look what it did to past people when they found out it's not real. You know what I mean? Like, you ruin somebody's life, you ruin somebody's career, and to me, it's horrible, and I don't want that situation to be that situation. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want him to have done it, but I also don't want it to be a false accusation.
Well, I guess I disagree in one form,
Sure.
and that's that I don't agree in that you can say I I don't support the woman in there because I don't think it's a fair thing to say. And I'm not saying the specific case. I'm saying
No, I know what you're saying.
in a generality, I don't think you can ever say that.
Sure.
But knowing Trevor Bauer and knowing the way he handles things,
Yeah.
and knowing his general pompousness, I'm 100% sure he did nothing to help any situation whatsoever.
Oh, I agree with you 100% on that one. Now, see that
Like, probably wore a T-shirt that says "I'm Trevor Bauer."
yeah, exactly. No, but the only thing is you're 100% right.
Like, there's nothing with him. So whatever he said with it,
Yeah.
I obviously none of us are there. We're speculating on this.
Sure.
The Dodgers are planning to start him, them. It's all under allegations and things right now with it, and
Yeah.
so obviously it's an investigation, right?
Right.
But knowing Trevor Bauer in his time with the Indians, in his time with the Dodgers and other places he's been,
Yeah.
he is an absolute genius, and he is an absolute freaking moron.
Yep.
Freaking is not the word I'm going to use here. He's an absolute moron.
He's a dunce. He's a dolt. I mean,
he's a complete dumbass. Yeah,
right.
That's a word I can use on here. Yeah, thank you. So
yeah,
he's a complete dumbass. And when it comes to him, the problem though is if you ask Trevor Bauer who the smartest person in the room is, it is Trevor Bauer.
Yep.
Trevor Bauer is A-Rod, but
Oh.
better.
Oh wow! Now see, that's a good comparison. You're right. He is A-Rod, but better.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Good. Hell yeah.
Because A-Rod does not build an entire social media page to tell you how great he is. Now he does as a broadcaster. As a broadcaster, A-Rod will tell you how great he is. But Trevor Bauer is not as good as A-Rod. Therefore, Trevor Bauer has to prove Trevor Bauer is better than A-Rod. So if you ask Trevor Bauer is better than A-Rod. So if he's going to a girl, he's going to tell her that you just had the best night of your life with the best baseball player ever. I mean, seriously though, like that is probably how he treats everybody. I don't know the guy, but looking at him, how he handles himself, that's probably how it's going to be. I mean, do you disagree?
No. He is that. No, you're absolutely 100% correct. He is that pompous that I guarantee you, after all that was done, and she's getting ready to leave or whatever, because he didn't let her spend the night. As he's getting ready to leave, he probably looked and said, "You're welcome," and like shut the door.
You are absolutely correct. That is absolutely 100% correct.
Isn't that sad that we know Bauer that well, that that's exactly what we believe happened? So, yeah, you're right. I don't think he did a thing to help that situation out.
No.
If anything, he probably egged on whatever's about to happen. And it's just, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to think. And again, I want to clarify, it's not that I don't trust the girl, right? It's not that I don't trust girls anymore. But when it's high profile cases like this, my mind automatically goes to how much money are they going to settle for? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if she takes a settlement, is it true? Did it happen? You know what I mean? Like, is there an amount of money that can fix that situation? I think if I'm the female, I don't want to see any amount of money. I want to see somebody in jail. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if that really happened. So that's just how my mind goes. It's not that I don't trust the female. It's that I have a hard time going, oh, yeah, this is probably at face value. While we're on this subject, we can switch to Mr. Puddin' Pop fellow over there, Bill Cosby, who is free. I mean, there was countless. The whole time Bill Cosby's trial was going on, in the back of my mind, I'm going, there's no way that any of this stuff is true. And then more and more and more started to come out. And it's like, okay, they're not just after this guy's money. They want to see him go. Like, they want to see it. It doesn't matter how old he is. This guy committed numerous crimes.
I thought it was interesting. So his co-star, I forget his name, but I think it was his wife on the show, came out and said something about him being a free man, and said something about them bringing down it was something about a cultural generation of a show and a person that was brought down because of this. Now, I want to jump backwards real quick into the athlete part of it, because I think there's two totally different things between show business and this. But I think you can put Bill Cosby, Johnny Depp, these people in a different category under a similar situation, which I think is different. But if you jump into athletes, it's happened to people. I mean, in every sport. It's happened in racing, it's happened in football, it's happened in baseball. Like, it's happened in every sport. Yeah. So to me, going to your point of, is there an amount that people look for? I don't think that's the case. So when I look at A-list, so there's A-list celebrities, right?
Right.
When I look at A-list athletes, I think there are groupies for those athletes, okay? So if I am that athlete, I have a complete group around me. I have security guards, I have details, I have all these people making sure I never do anything wrong, right? Or if anything I ever do wrong, never comes out, okay? Okay. So if it gets to that point where it does come out to the public, I truly believe at that point that you did something wrong, because they have people on their payroll that shut stuff down. So if you made it past the millions of dollars of shutdown people, and it still came out, because I think if there's a settlement to shut it down for ego or something in there, or fake stuff, I think it gets shut down privately. If they're shut down publicly, I truly believe there's something real there, that the girl did have something there. That's my opinion, but
that's a huge possibility.
Of shut down people, and if it made it through those people and it came out publicly, I truly do believe that there is something that did happen. And on the other point too, why did it happen? Why do these things happen? Like, if you're that high up, and you know you're that high up, if you show up that you're, I don't know what his contract is, but you got to say it's what, 30-40 million a year at least, maybe more than that.
Who, Bowers?
I mean, okay, so for any, just
just any, sure, okay, yeah.
It's more than that. I'm just generalizing.
Oh, yeah.
If you're at that level, anyways, I'm pretty sure you have enough to just make things go to where you shouldn't have to worry. Like, you should have enough power and common sense to say, okay, I'm not going to go mess with this because I have too much money and too much wealth to go mess with it. That's my belief.
And that's what I always wondered too, is that you got these actors who literally have legacies. I mean, let's just be honest. And again, we'll use Bill Cosby because I don't want to use any other actor.
So we can jump to the entertainment side, because I feel like that's a totally different part too. But it's still kind of tied in too.
Well, no, it is. But okay, so let's say you're a Bill Cosby and you have a legacy, right? Like, you're Dr. Huxtable. That's who you are. And all of a sudden now, you know you have money, you know you have power, you know you have fame, but more than that, this was a family-friendly show that he always tried to make himself out to look like he was a family-oriented human being. And he's going out date raping people. What possibly would have made him go, I'm going to risk my freedom, my fortune, my fame, and my legacy to get laid? And forcefully get laid. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you want to do other things, but to rape somebody, what possibly you're already on a power trip. You're rich, you're famous, you have a legacy. What more of a power trip do you possibly need? And once you get to that level, why does that seem like it's happening more and more and more?
So the power trip part, for all the things you just mentioned, why did OJ go kill two people?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly like at some point in time, as an actor, and we can even jump over to the athlete side. As an athlete, at some point in time, do you believe you're just untouchable?
I think people absolutely go to that level. Absolutely,
Really?
100%. Yes. If you have you seen The Wolf of Wall Street?
Oh God, yeah. Well, I watched the first 15 hours and then I shut it off and watched the rest of the other 28 hours of
But
the movie.
so that
But yes.
level, though, I truly believe people get in their head that they're Jordan Belfort in their minds.
See that, and that I guess that's what bothers me the most is that at some point in time, and this has to be true for athletes too. Trevor Bauer, is one of them. Think about Bowers growing up. You know what I mean? Think of him. Think of 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old Trevor Bowers. There was no way he was that cocky. Now think of him in high school. He probably started becoming a very good pitcher around that age. He started becoming super cocky in high school. Then in college, developed. Now he's in the minors, he definitely was cocky. Now he's in the majors and thinks he's even more. At what level do you think you're untouchable? Is it when you know you're a good athlete and you're pretty sure you're going somewhere? Or is it when you hit it big, you just stop caring about morality?
I think there's definitely a ladder. I think there's a ladder, and I think there's a contract number where you say I'm worth. Let's call it $100 million.
Sure.
Okay, let's call it 100 million. When I'm worth 100 million, I don't give a shit. Maybe that's what people say. I don't know.
The only thing is, you're right. I think that there has to be a monetary bridge that crosses your morality. Like, okay, I have $100 million. People aren't people anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you have reached at 100. I mean, let's just be honest, dude. At $100 million, you're buying yourself out of anything. You know what I mean? Like, you're probably gonna be able to do some stuff that you normally couldn't do.
What's her face from Full House? The mom,
Aunt
who
Becky.
did the whole college bribing scandal.
Mhm.
She got what 2 weeks in jail and then a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But see, that's
whoever she is.
Aunt Becky. But the only thing is like I don't necessarily. I took that case different than I think anybody else did. I didn't really care. Like people have been bribing deans and stuff like that for centuries. Like
I'm with you there. I'm with you. At the same time,
they try to make an example. I think.
Yeah, they did, but at the same time with that one, I think that was a very very poorly handled thing because that was very much an example of they were trying to make an example in the public, and then it's like, just go ahead, it's fine, it doesn't really matter, whatever.
Yeah, no.
But going back to what we were talking about, so Johnny Depp, for example,
sure.
His, to me, is a very, very interesting one. It's something that's still going on that's not trending today or anything like that. But
sure.
Him, to me, that is very, very interesting because they now have police evidence that show that he was not the person that was like beating her up or doing things. So he's going, literally, I didn't do anything. I did not do that. So is Cologne, I don't know if it's Dior or whoever, or sorry, Dior, however you say in French, but whoever does this clone stuff, they backed him. But then obviously Disney dropped him.
Yeah.
Which to me is a mistake because they didn't have the evidence in there.
Correct.
But with all these things, I truly believe that, there's a lot of stuff that goes on today with cancel culture and things that happen. I do still believe that no matter what, there's a lot of crap that goes on. There's a lot of people that do bad things.
Sure.
Trevor Bauer putting himself in the situation is a complete mistake. He's wrong for putting himself in that situation.
Yes.
However, when it comes to justice, you are innocent until proven guilty.
Correct.
Does that make a bad guy that he did this? Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Will he get caught? I don't know. We don't have evidence. Same thing with Johnny
Right.
Depp, though. Like, should Disney have done that? Probably not.
Not at
But
least till it
that's
was. Yeah.
it. Just it's very very interesting to me that when it comes to politics of I shouldn't say politics, but
It
politicking
politicking. Yes.
yeah,
Of the
politicking
of
of
the
famous
cancel
people.
culture.
Yeah, of cancel culture.
Hmm.
People complain about justice system and stuff when it comes to famous people, but then you look at on a normal level, it's like, well, there needs to be a reform on normal level of
Yeah.
stuff. I don't get in politics in the show, but like there is big change needed on normal levels, but then you can't go cancel someone because you're upset at them and then expect things to
Exactly.
be one way and they go, oh, it's okay now. But then 3 seconds ago, you're wanting them hung. Like
Yeah.
you can't go wishy-washy with it. Like you ruined their lives too. Like
Right.
it's all over the place. And that's why I hate social media.
Well, the only thing is, you're right though, and what you said makes a whole lot of sense. When you're in the spotlight, and you're the public eye, and I'm learning this now too. You know what I mean? I'm learning not to say certain things. I'm learning to not post certain stuff. But when you are in the spotlight, and Trevor Bauer, let's just be honest with you. Jumping back to Bauer real quick, Trevor Bauer is constantly in the spotlight. He
The only
trends.
media company to put other athletes in the spotlight.
Yes, exactly. So why in the hell would you put yourself in a position to come out in a negative light? Do you know what I'm saying? Keep your head down and just,
Yeah.
and just play. If you want to, and again, he's got a brand. His brand is authority is not his favorite thing. So if the MLB says something, Bauer's going to come out and oppose it. Doesn't matter if it's a good rule, doesn't matter if it's a bad rule. Bauer's going to oppose
Everybody,
it.
every sports league needs a villain, and
Yeah,
that is fine.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
Trevor Bauer is an idiot. We all know that, right? He's very talented, but he is an absolute idiot. He's the guy who went to the World Series and played with a drone and cut his thumb off. Like idiot.
Exactly. Yeah, no,
Idiot.
he is a villain. That's the thing. And
No matter what, in this entire situation that's going on right now,
yeah,
no matter what happens to him, you don't put yourself in the situation unless you take the steps to put yourself there.
correct.
If I go after this podcast and I have 4 beers, sorry, no, if I go and have 7 beers
Yeah.
and I go drive down the street, I might be totally fine and hit nothing. And
Right.
I would put myself in that situation. However, I might drink 7 beers and go hit somebody.
Yep.
Both scenarios, I did the same thing. One thing was a bad effect. One thing had no effect, but I did the same thing.
Right, right. No,
So
you're right. And then it would be blown up all over the news.
exactly, but
Yep.
the choice in the beginning is the same. So
Sure.
no matter what Trevor Bauer did, he still put himself in that spot because he is an idiot.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. When you're and Bauer, I'm not saying Bauer is not a great pitcher because I think he is. I think he's
Fantastic pitcher.
right. I just think he's a moron. But I also think when it comes to the game of here's a good example. I think Floyd Mayweather is the biggest idiot I've ever seen in a boxing ring. However, he is the smartest boxer, aside from Muhammad Ali, that has ever stepped foot in that ring. Bauer's in the same position. Bauer is a complete and utter moron when it comes to common sense things. But I'm telling you what, if I wanted my kid to be the best pitcher, I'm gonna have him coach him. I'm gonna have him talk to him. It's just the problem is that the A-list celebrities and these top athletes are no longer thinking anymore. And I think you hit it right on the head when you said there's a bridge to morality, and when there's a certain level of money, that ceiling, whatever that ceiling is, and you hit it, and you can then project yourself and think you're better than everybody else, you no longer have to worry about getting in trouble, right? Because you're better. You're better than them.
Well, you at that point you belong to a group where what can't you do?
Yeah.
You physically cannot spend enough money per day for it to matter. So
100%. 100%.
how do you relate to people? What do you do? Then you just go, I don't care.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, you're exactly
once
right.
you get into that realm, you become either Elon Musk and go innovate and design things, or you become Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, or you are, I don't know, or you could just be, you could sit on a yacht. It doesn't matter what you do. I mean, if you're there, you're there. Or you could be an athlete. You could be, The Rock. It doesn't matter who you are, or what you do. But when you do reach that threshold, like I said, there is a monetary threshold of once you're there. There's two outcomes. Either you keep on doing what you're doing and you're okay and people love you, or you turn into an absolute moron who does not care about anything because you think you are untouchable. And there's a lot of people who fall into that second category.
Right, which is a problem, and it makes it look, or it makes it, I guess, to the normal person, go, these people don't have morals anymore. They don't have that advantage of, and I'm going to say this loosely, but regular people. They don't have the advantage of regular people trying to live a valued life, a moral life, and not do this kind of thing, because then you see these like OJ got off, man. You know for a fact he killed those people. Like there's no two ways about it.
He's on Twitter and he's literally he's on the golf course now.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
Like what kind of a place of privilege is that? Like he literally murdered 2 people. He's on the golf course now, hanging out, smoking a cigar. Like clearly,
Like it makes zero sense to what is actually going on in the real world. It's like and again, you can. So I'm getting to the quasi famous era. You're famous. Hillis is famous, but I've never been around.
yeah, but that's like E-list. We're talking
Sure.
A-list.
We're right. But what I'm saying is, like, even when you're talking E-list or C-list or D-list or B-list or A-list, I haven't talked to anybody whose morals are just, screw it. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm not going to care what these other people think. I mean, take a look at, bridge the gap between you, me, and Hillis. There's no reason why I should be in contact with any of you people, but it's because of the, I guess, the values that everybody shares that have gotten us this far. Think of Mark Hamer. I shouldn't be talking to Mark Hamer. I shouldn't be in a new movie with Al Snow and John Wells and all this stuff. But I haven't met anybody who literally just said, "Bah, screw morals. We're just gonna do what we want to do." And I think you're right. I think there's a certain level you get to that, okay, I have $100 million or whatever, a certain part of fame or stardom or whatever, and you just lose your humanity. I mean, it seems like what it is, and not all of them do that, but some of them definitely do.
No, that's why I've always said I always had a great deal of respect for Matthew McConaughey, and
Yeah.
I've talked a lot on our show because he's always kept it real.
Yes,
And
100%.
even for The Rock is a very personable guy,
Yeah.
and he is true to himself. He shares that person with people. He's not a controversial guy.
No.
And he's the highest paid actor in the history of actors right now.
And you wonder why, because think about it. The things you just said, he's a personable guy. He's down to earth and he's real, and The Rock is the same way.
Yep. No, they're hard workers. They get along well, and they do a good job. I mean, at the end of the day, so people ask me, and we got to go to break in a second. But people asked me, when I was racing, they said, "What's it like to be a race car driver or be a NASCAR driver?"
Sure.
And honestly, to me, it was, because people would be like, "Well, you're a NASCAR driver. You do this. Like, I'm a nobody." I'm like, honestly, we do the same thing. I go and prepare and do my job and do the stuff for my job. I go out there and perform, and you do the same thing. We have different scales that we get paid, sure, but that's just because of circumstances that I lucked into and worked for. But one fate of the universe different, and then you could be on that path and I could be over here. Like that's why I always look at people the same. Like I look at people good and bad, sure,
Right.
but I've never been able to understand why. And the $100 million thing, that's not a like, okay, if you hit that number, you're jacked.
No, right. I know what you're saying.
It's just a concept of an idea, but
right.
There is something with that I don't know. Like you said, it's an elitist idea in your head where
elitist, like, good word. It's an elitist. Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
It's like Napoleon syndrome. It's like, screw all of you.
Yeah, no, you're 100%. Elitist is a good word. There is an elite group, and it's sad that it's that group that, you know what I mean, that gives other people a bad name. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing with Johnny Depp, real quick before we go to break, is, I couldn't believe Johnny Depp did that. I was like, no way, he does this for, and then it comes out, oh crap, he really didn't do that stuff.
Right.
And Disney dropped him like a bad habit. I mean, they dropped him quick, and it's Johnny Depp. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of the most, world-renowned, he's award-winning actors.
To this day, he still dresses up as Captain Jack.
Yes.
He goes to children's
hospitals
to go make him smile. Like, that shows who he is. I don't care if he has a spending problem, has way too many houses, whatever his problems are. Yep. That's his problems, but that shows who he really is. What do you? Yes, like that's who he really is, in my opinion.
No, you're right. What he does for the public and what he does to make people happy, I believe, outweighs his spending habits or personal things that I honestly have no business worrying about. Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on iHeartRadio, Spotify, where all your podcasts can be heard. Subscribe. Give us a like if you like the show. If not, whatever. But check us out. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the Indians. Only reason is because of Naylor's horrible injury, which I got to tell you, whether you like Tyler Naylor or not, it doesn't matter. Jeez, that was absolutely horrible. Like, his leg it was a horrible collision. I don't know if you had a chance to see it. But if not, we're talking a little bit of Tribe. They got the crap kicked out of them by Detroit twice. But we'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Life in the Fast Lane with Matt Tifft, myself, Keith Migra. Hopefully you had a chance to go check us out on Twitter at Keith Migra on Twitter and at Matt_Tifft. Check us out. Follow us. Give us a follow. I don't know. We got a lot of cool stuff going on. Check out the show on iHeartRadio. Subscribe. Give us that. And then you want to talk some Tribe real quick?
Yeah. Right before we get into the Tribe stuff, just a little announcement. We're talking about this before the show today. So today is episode 44, and we are 2 weeks out from our 50th show, first season.
Yeah, man.
Life in the Fast Lane. So we got 2 weeks left. So we appreciate everybody who has listened to the show. It's been a lot of fun, and we will be back for season 2. We're gonna take a little break over the summer before we get back going to what do you want to call it? Back to school style. Get some Browns football back going, all that sort of stuff back in there. So I'm looking forward to that. But we got 2 good weeks of full show lineups of Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Promise you on those ones. And so it's going to be a lot of fun to do that. And let's talk some Tribes. So like you were talking about before the break, man, I think that was, I don't know. I hate watch. I try to fast forward past leg injuries and knee injuries. Then I have to go rewind them and then watch them because I can't not watch it. And Josh Naylor's leg injury was just horrific.
It was. Wow. It did. And the thing is Tito, who again I trust Tito. He's done amazing with what he was given, and I know it sounds horrible to say, but let's just be honest. He's done good. Right, he's done great with what. But when he came out and said, the media asked him whose fault it was. Was it Naylor's fault? Was it whose fault was it?
That's not a question there.
No, but he answered it the best way possible. He said, "Listen, it wasn't in dead man. It wasn't in no man's zone. The problem was the second baseman's. The second baseman's gonna go after that ball until he hears, I got it, or lay off, or turn around, or whatever code word they're using, or however they say it. So basically, Tito said he believes there was lack of communication. He believes nothing was said. So if nothing is said, I mean, it's a rookie mistake, man. It's a rookie mistake, and those happen, especially when you're not paying attention. People don't understand how it's baseball's intensive. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't believe how physical it is. And
on the scoreboard, they actually count errors in baseball.
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason for that. And the fact that I think that that Naylor probably, made a rookie mistake and was probably too focused on the ball to try to go. But man, when he got hit, it looked like a wrestling move. Did you see it? I mean, dude, honest to God, it looked like a wrestling move. I was like, dude, he flipped in the air.
It was like upended somehow.
Yeah, dude. And whenever and again, I don't care who you are, and maybe it's different for other people. I don't know. But I would never, ever, ever wish any athlete, including Bauer, LeBron James, I would never wish any of them to actually get a career-ended injury that could do something like, you don't want to see collisions like that. And when he was down, I'm like, he's knocked out. Like he's straight up done. Like I couldn't imagine being at that game and seeing that happen.
Well, it's not normal for baseball, whether it's a line drive to the pitcher's head, whether it's something like that, or it's the injuries in baseball are the things you expect are ankles, high ankle sprains.
High ankle sprains, yeah.
Shin splints, maybe some ACL stuff, meniscus, sort of
some
thing.
Hip problems.
Getting hit by the ball, things like that are kind of nasty. Like they can be really nasty, but you expect that stuff. But line drives into pitchers and stuff like this, they're the anomalies that are just nasty.
Oh yeah, dude. And the thing is when you see stuff like that, you're like, again, it doesn't matter if you love or hate the player. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. At least if you're a human, you don't want to see anybody get hurt. You want to have that rivalry going. You want to have that crap talk going. But I mean, Jesus, that guy. I mean, that was bad. Like, and at first you're like, oh, it looked to me when I first saw it is he jumped out of the way. I didn't realize that he got hit and flew
totally looked like he tried to sidestep or something, but
Yes. Oh, dude, it was heinous. It was absolutely horrible. But with Naylor being out, they brought up Mercado, and again, Mercado's somebody that I've been a fan of and wanted to see on the Indians. I thought he was going to have a big career. I thought he was going to be like Grady Sizemore or something. I had high hopes for this guy, and with them bringing him back or him, them bringing him back up, I hope we can get. We're still in the wild card, right? I mean, like we're going to be a wild card team. If we can do something out of the ordinary this year with Tito's coaching and everything going on, and we do make a serious playoff run, it can happen. Like it really can.
if they get healthy, it could be a
Yes.
serious run.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I was one of the biggest, I guess, crap talkers when it came to
I
Shaw.
was too. We both were.
Yeah. No, and the thing is, and then here's the other side of it. You're winning and winning and winning and winning. It's real easy for the fans to be like, yeah, this team rocks. This team is the best. But then you start having these dry spells, and you're losing to teams you shouldn't lose to. But we're still way over 500, and we're still in second place. Like,
I didn't think we'd be 500 at all.
no, dude, I'm telling you, when we went 500, I was happy, right? Like
Yeah.
we hit the 500 mark. I'm like, all right, we're winning some games. It's still exciting to watch. Now we're over 500. Now we're headed to the halfway mark here soon. Ramirez is heating up. I mean, he just hit number 18 last night. If Reyes comes back, he's going to be hot. You know what I mean? Rosario's picking it up. All these guys are starting to get back to where they should be. There's a good chance that we could be contenders on a shoestring budget in Cleveland, a miracle run once again. Like it's insane, but it's
I hope so for, again, the last year being the Indians.
Yeah.
I hope there's one last good run.
Can you imagine if we win the World Series and they have to put it in the history books as the Cleveland Indians, how pissed off they're going to be?
I would love to see a pennant with the World Series of the Cleveland Indians that does not say 1948 on it.
Yes, 19. Oh my gosh, how long is it? Like with everything going on we're talking injuries, we're talking pitchers not. Our bullpen used to be the best. Our starting pitching is with Bieber and everything. But could you imagine them making a run like that? It'd be a miracle. It would be something that they'd be talking about for centuries. I mean, it would be amazing. And you're right. I would love to see a pennant with the Indians.
Yep. All right, so switching gears a little bit, but still in sports. So the NCAA has officially said that they will start compensating players.
This is big news.
It's huge news.
This is big news for actually for a bunch of people, not just the college players, but dude, it's going to be big for agencies. I was talking to somebody who owns
Very big.
right,
And
and
not just that, but the NTPs of all this
Yes.
stuff now, being able to monetize that.
yep,
You have the video games coming back. Thank goodness. So excited for that coming back.
yeah,
But every part of this is so big, and it's finally to the point where NCAA at something lost, and it's hilarious.
oh yeah. But the thing is how long? This is way overdue. I mean, this this should have
25
happened.
years overdue.
Yeah, dude, absolutely it is. You got these players, and I mean, let's just think about it for a second. You have all of these players. I mean, okay, take the game away, right? Take away the NCAA games or any of that. Just think of the haul they make in one sport, basketball. Think of what March Madness does, dude. It's time these kids, and they are kids. It's time. But if you're in, how many of these people actually get drafted? It's time for them to start making some money off of it. You know what I mean? A lot of these players aren't going to be drafted.
But still 1% of them make it, right?
Right.
So off of what they do, they should have a revenue share and get their revenue share, whether it's tickets or it's merchandise or whatever it is, they should have a revenue share based on their school. And I think that's fair. I don't know how it works, right? Like I don't know the details of exactly how it works.
Sure.
But I saw Barstool Sports, they're doing a hashtag Barstool Athletes. So I think they're kind of looking at the agency side of it. There's going to be a lot of agency stuff in there because people are going to put big bets on guys coming up through. And not that they haven't before, they have, but now they can monetize it. And also make deals. I mean, think about, Steph Curry. He was relatively unknown. He went to Davidson College just up the road here from me here in Charlotte. But think about the guys like what's his name, plays for the Pelicans, Zion Williamson. Think about him when he was at Duke. Guys like him that were just monsters in college.
Oh yeah.
The amount of time and stuff talking about them is absolutely monetarily huge. And here's the thing: people will backlash on this stuff, and people that support the NCAA, which I don't know how many there are, but they'll say, well, they shouldn't be making this or doing that because it's unfair looking at the past. If that's true, then Nick Saban, he shouldn't have to bring his freshman recruits to his mansion because the NCAA shouldn't have the TV deal. And then if they don't have the TV deal, then Nick Saban shouldn't be able to get paid what he does, because then if that's all true, then the football coach or the basketball coach, it should be like Jim in high school, where the gym coach is teaching on the side. Then he goes and coaches football, and then the sex ed teacher does basketball or whatever, right? So like,
Yeah.
if you want to go down that argument, you better say, okay, well, why are we paying the coaches that much if the players aren't getting paid? Because that makes no sense. So I think it's long overdue. I think it's absolutely necessary that they do this. It should have been a long time ago.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'm curious about is like for MAC schools and things like that, for small schools, how they're going to do it, because I haven't read up on it.
Sure.
So I'd be curious to get an insider's look on to see what that looks like and how that's going to be done. But yeah, I'm excited to see what comes out of it, because NCAA sports are already exciting, but now you're going to get a lot of your people with huge endorsements, and it's going to be kind of cool. It's going to be who's the next guy. You're going to see these people on commercials and in print ads and on all this stuff that you would have never known about before, and you're going to be cheering for that guy to be coming up. I think that's pretty neat.
And again, I didn't. To me, I don't understand why it took so long for this to happen. Right? Is it because the NCAA was
egotistical maniacs in NCAA?
And that's my point. There has to have been something where them to go, yeah, we're just gonna be greedy punks the whole time.
You see the women's college basketball, they're set up for their gym. They put like 3 dumbbells on the floor for March Madness this year. Did you see it?
No.
Just look it up right now. Look at men's versus women's right now. Look it up. Final Four. Look at men's versus women's training setup between the two. It is unbelievable. So the guys, they got like everything normal setup in there. The girls, they got like 4 dumbbells on the floor, a pack of Cheetos, and like a drawstring bag. The guys got
my gosh,
suitcases, everything. Isn't that horrible?
Oh wow.
And the NCAA said, "Oh, sorry, we ran out of space." Yeah, space in your brain, dummy.
Oh my gosh, AJ Wilson, the NCAA bubble weight room situation is beyond disrespectful.
Yeah, so this is back in March, but like in March Madness, like not too many people different watch men's from women's. Like yeah, more people watch men's, but women still watch a lot for women's sports. So that just tells you how the NCAA operates when they didn't have to be put under a microscope until the players put it out there. And she got in trouble for putting it out there. And then all of a sudden it was all, released. And I think that event was a big reason why the NCAA had to go pay the players and the athletes there, because it showed how petty they really were.
Which, I mean, makes sense. I mean, you can't – listen, I'm all for – this is just me. Okay, I don't speak for anybody else. This is my opinions and my opinions only. I don't think women should cross over into men's sports, and I don't think men should cross over into women's sports. But at the same time, that's setting women up for failure. Give them what I mean. You treat that part. If it's a woman's sport, right? Those gyms or whatever they're setting up should be equal. They're just as much athletes. They're just as much athletic as that. I just think that there's a women's league and a men's league for a reason, but I don't think that it should be so disgustingly disrespectful that you're just not gonna give them a dumbbell and these guys have a palace that they can work with. Yeah, come on.
They have Gold's Gym and they have like the $10 workout quarantine pack.
That's a quarantine pack. And the thing is, like, Tyler's laughing. And the thing is when you I guess that counts as a whistleblowing when you whistleblow. No, that needed to be front into attention. The NCAA didn't want that to happen because look at the backlash that went down upon these guys. Give them the same weight room. What the hell?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and here's the thing about that too. So college sports is separated between guys and girls.
Yeah.
Olympics is guys and girls on that stuff. But
Yeah.
you know what? When it comes to professional sports, if there is a girl that, let's say she's a wide receiver and she can make it, or a kicker, and she can make it as a kicker because she's so good that she can make it as a kicker in the NFL, I think she should be allowed. Just like in NASCAR, we've had girls that have been drivers in NASCAR.
Right.
The card is whether you're a guy or a girl. I think that's fine. But at the collegiate level, where it is separated in there, that's fine that it's separated, but give them the exact same chance and same equipment because they can't control anything in there. Like that is
right. No, 100%. I have a heart. I don't know. I just believe listen, if you're, I don't know. I think safety comes into play with my thought to have women in the NFL or women in Major League Baseball. I think that if you're going to get hit by a huge 100 or 300 or whatever pound, a person, I think you're going to get, I think you're going to get hit. I think it's going to hurt, and I don't think you're going to be able to 100%. I don't know. I feel that you're not going to be able to compete at that level, and I think safety at some point in time comes into play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's why I mentioned spots like kickers and things like that, to where there's going to be special positions that can be worked to be. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're good at things, you're good at things. It doesn't matter. Like soccer probably could be the same thing, right? So I think there's a lot of stuff like that. But anyways, so end of the story being, I think it is fantastic that the NCAA has to go pay players. Yeah. I'm very much looking forward to the return of NCAA, not Madden, the NCAA football, whatever that's going to be. I'm excited for the mascot mashup and being able to flip all the mascots and stuff like that again. So,
heck yeah, man.
One of the greatest games ever. So anyways, all right. Well, I think that's just about wrapping up our show. What else you got, Keith?
I mean, honestly, that's it. Make sure, again, you check us out on Spotify, iHeartRadio. Leaving reviews helps. Subscribing helps. If you like the show, like we like the show, and we love doing it for you guys, we have an absolute blast. I think Season 2 of Life in the Fast Lane is going to be insane. I think we're going to have bigger guests, more fun. Everything's going to be enhanced. So we really can't do the show without the fans. We can't do the show without you guys, and we wouldn't do the show without you guys. This is this is something we get to do that we get to enjoy out of the norm. You know what I mean? How many people get to say, for a living they get to do podcasts and hang out with the fans, and it really means a lot to us. And we thank you guys for being here every step of the way, from the very beginning episode to whatever this one is that we don't know what the dividend is or divide or whatever it is.
That's still not right. Still not right. We still don't know.
We still don't know what it is. But we thank you guys, and follow me at Keith Migra 1 on Twitter, and then Matt.
Yep, at Matt_Tifft for myself. We're racing in Road America this weekend, my favorite racetrack. So
beautiful. Happy
4th of July to everybody. Don't attach fireworks to your hands. If you do, please let them go before they blow up. Remember when you're holding a Roman candle, but there's one way it goes forwards, one way it goes backwards. I did that the wrong way on New Year's Eve. It did not work out well for me. Somebody else did the same thing. So make sure you go away from yourself. Look at the instructions and where the fuse is. Fuse on the bottom, the explosives on the top. That's your tip for the day.
Say tip. There it is. Thank you guys. Please have a safe and happy 4th of July. Thanks to all the men and women serving in the military to make that day possible. We appreciate you guys. We respect you guys. So thank a military vet or thank somebody in the military for giving us the freedoms to be able to blow our hands off and have at least 2nd-degree burns while not understanding where fuses go. We'll see.
Who's that one guy who played for the Patriots that blew off like 4 of his fingers playing with fireworks?
I remember that. I can't remember his name though.
What was his name?
Stumpy?
I can't remember.
I don't know. I can't remember. But
yeah. Well, anyways, so don't do that. If you do, sorry, that's on you. But drink all the beer, shoot off the fireworks, watch the race, have fun, and we will see you back here on Monday because you'll be hungover and you'll be in pain and you're going to watch our show.
and be
Got
in
it?
pain and hungover.
Good.
See you
right.
guys next week.